YouTube, my name is Mesa Sean, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Alright folks, I've got kind of a double feature for you guys here today. One, we've got some Destiny 2 news to go over, a new interview from Luke Smith where, yeah, you're reading it in the title, some of the old supers we have might get axed from the game at some point. We don't know just yet. We're going to go over all of it. Just stay tuned. Also, I've got an amazing farm for the essence of dawning, what you need to bake all of those tasty treats for all the NPCs in the solar system. Really, really fast and easy, and you could do it solo, or you could do it with other people. If you enjoy this video, a like rating does help me out. Comments help out even more. Subscriptions, of course, help me out. And if you really want to take it to the next level and support my work, become a channel member and join an awesome Destiny 2 Mesa Army community over on Discord. And also the channel members set up a clan for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 4. All right, let's get into the news, folks. The first article we're going to go over is Destiny 2's new ice powers will evolve in Year 4. And we kind of all knew this was going to happen, but we get a little bit more light from Luke Smith. But I have a question for you. Out of the three classes, Titan, Hunter, and Warlock, which ones are your favorite and in which order? For me, I'm a Warlock main, so of course I like the Warlock. Second's going to be Hunter. Third is going to be Titan. I still feel like I don't have a grasp on the Titan stasis super. I'm like just mashing buttons and slamming the ground and trying to melee the ice, and it's not working out for me. And then I go back to hammers, or I go back to my good old Ward of Dawn. But let me know in the comment section which ones you like the best. So let's go back to the article. Now, we want to think of the supers, the light supers, as, well, they're binary choices. And the stasis super, well, it's completely modular. Lets us really pick and choose various powers to go along with our darkness subclass. But let me read this verbatim here. In an interview with Polygon last week, we asked Destiny 2's game director, Luke Smith, about the darkness customization. He says, "We are really excited about the new system," he said. "With the stasis super system operating as kind of a journey into the realm of customization, Bungie seems to think it was successful, and we agree." What do you think in the comment section? I love the system. I mix and match it all the time when doing different builds. Now, right now, we only have 2 aspects and a number of fragments, and we can slot them in. And also, I do believe Dylan from Bungie did tweet out, if you're holding on to the quest line that you get from the stranger over on Europa to complete or get more fragments, even though you have all of the fragments, don't waste your time. They're not going to carry over if new fragments, well, not if. We know that new fragments are coming down the road. But no, yeah, you're not going to need to hold on to them, guys. We're going to have to do them all over again. And those quests weren't that bad, actually. Finishing off this article, because the next article, that's going to be the important one here, guys. So, Luke Smith says, our intention is to add more, meaning fragments, aspects, things like that. So he says, between now and next fall's Witch Queen expansion, Bungie will be adding more aspects and fragments to Stasis, allowing players to interchange their aspects and, more uniquely, customize their subclass. In our conversation with Smith, he made it clear that the new system isn't just meant to differentiate the light and the dark subclasses going forward. The goal was to offer more customization to players. Luke Smith quoted fellow co-worker Kevin Yanez. If you're not familiar with him, I believe he's in the Sandbox team, I think. He kind of took over for Josh Hamrick when Josh left Bungie, who refers to the new subclass system as Diet Materia from Final Fantasy VII. Guys, can you help me out in the comment section? Yes, I'm sorry. I never played Final Fantasy VII. Is that a bad thing? Sorry. Okay, currently players don't quite have the level of customization, but over the next few seasons, Stasis should expand with new fragments and aspects, allowing each player to have a more unique Stasis configuration. So here's the article that's making its headway around Twitter, with a lot of people going crazy with some of the wording here. So let's read into it or not read into it. Destiny 2's older subclasses could get an upgrade eventually, but some things might have been taken out of context here. But let me read you some quotes, not the full article. It's pretty long. I will link it in the description. So one of the quotes are, well, Polygon Trip says, the older classes feel a little stale compared to Stasis, and it's completely new. In terms of it's a modular customization system. According to Bungie, the studio would love to bring this new customization system to the old subclasses. It's just not clear if or when that'll happen. So some quotes from Luke Smith here. We only want to have one central system for supers. But as Bungie sets out to add new content, keep up with seasons, eventually add new darkness powers, yes, they did say that, new darkness powers, and improve stasis over year 4. And what is that new darkness power? Everyone's saying it's going to be like a new poison darkness subclass. There isn't a planned release date for an updated Arc Solar of Void Snipers, but on a long enough timeline is something Luke Smith is passionate about. So Luke says, I can totally imagine it in Luke Fantasyland. You know, all of the supers using the same system. That sounds awesome. But also, the supers that we have in the game would be an edited list. It would be something that's edited towards more identity than we have today. And Smith explained that the classes, Hunter, Warlock, Titan, are kind of homogenous. He did note that revisiting the super system for these subclasses could provide a chance to hone them in. So now we're going to get into the juicy quotes that Twitter and Reddit and they're all running with right now. But let's read into it, okay? So Luke Smith says, honing an identity is easy in some cases. It's much easier for me to look at Nova Bomb and say Nova Bomb is like IP defining, said Smith. It's an IP defining super. Get rid of Nova Warp. But in this case, Smith is talking about the classic Warlock ability, Nova Bomb, and comparing it to its mediocre PvP only super, Nova Warp. All right, let me stop right here before I read more. Nova Warp, I never use it. Fellow Warlock mates, do you ever use Nova Warp besides PvP? I mean, think about it. When I think of Voidwalker, I think of Nova Bomb. I don't think of Nova Warp at all, really. I almost never use it. Continuing here, cutting Nova Warp might hurt some fans, but it's generally pretty safe. More people like Nova Bomb than Nova Warp. For other subclasses, though, the decision would not be easy. Now listen to these quotes here. Within Solar Warlock, there are two really distinct fantasies that don't work together at all, he says. All right, Luke, I don't know if I agree with you on this one here. Let me read here. Currently, Solar Warlocks can drop a Well of Radiance at their feet, which heals allies and buffs their damage. But a different tree of Solar Warlock lets the class fly around in the sky, raining hellfire down from a flaming sword. Same subclass, different trees, very different uses in different cases. And unlike Nova Warp versus Nova Bomb, both have an identity worth preserving. In order to transition Solar Warlock to the modular stasis system, Bungie would need to pick one of these play styles to align the identity of the subclass, potentially alienating people who like the benched play style. So I'm kind of reading into that as they could do the same thing to the Solar subclass. Ditch one of the fantasies. Is it going to be the flying around raining swords, or is it going to be the Well of Radiance? I love all three of the Solar Warlock. I love Top Tree Dawnblade, I love Bottom Tree Dawnblade, and I love Well of Radiance. Polygon finishes off with this. Solidifying the identity will clearly be a challenge for Bungie if it happens. But Smith seemed about class jealousy. Let's think about that. That idea that you might look at an allied hunter and feel jealous that you can't use Golden Gun on the boss, just as they look at your Titan wishing they could use Ward of Dawn. That's the goal for Smith, to give players a reason to play each class and help make hunters, titans, and warlocks all feel special for playing their chosen class. But to do that, Bungie would need to shore up the game's wide variety of subclasses, something that may not happen for years to come. That's a lot to digest, folks, so let me know in the comment section. What do you think about all of this? Are you cool with them ditching some of the old subclasses and revamping them all into how stasis works with the fragments and also the aspects, and possibly ditching some old stuff? I don't know how I feel about it. Next up, you need a farm for Essence of Dawning to put in Eva's oven so you could cook those delicious treats for all of the different vendors. Well, one is you can grab a fire team and do some 1250 lost sectors. Look at this run here, almost a minute and 58 seconds, and I got myself 16, and I got myself an enhancement core. And actually, these were a lot of fun. Both of these will be mind-numbing. You can't get exotics if you're doing the lost sectors, okay? But here's an easier way and a much faster way. You could do it solo, but preferably you want to do it with friends. A much faster and insane way of getting this thing done is to take your lure and make sure that you load it up so that you have a tier 2 hunt, okay? Repeat, it's got to be a tier 2 hunt. So once you load it up, make sure you go back and check your inventory and make sure that that hunt says tier 2. And actually, shout out to JP Deathblade over on Twitter and his website todayindestiny.com. I will link them in the description. I saw him on Twitter. Hey, look, what am I ranked? 213. What's your rank? Let me know in the comment section. JP Deathblade and todayindestiny.com. Check out his website. Link will be in the description. Covers all things Destiny, and also he data mines all of the Eververse stuff that's coming down the road for Bright Dust, so you know what to save up for. So go and then start to do the tier 2 hunt. Then once you get to the actual hunt, well, go in and reset your lure to have nothing on it. There it is, reset lure. Nothing's on it, okay? Now you're going to go inside. Once you're in there, since you're the one that set up the lure, do not touch the boss. Repeat, do not touch the boss, okay? Play some golf like I'm doing here, okay? And let your teammates, here we got Nava Bear from Rezo and I, Kristen, longtime channel member, let them kill the boss, okay? Each of you should get about 15 to 16 of the essence of dawning. As soon as you complete it, immediately abandon the activity. I think you only have about like 19 seconds to do that. Abandon the activity, and then you're back out front again, and just rinse and repeat over and over and over. Because when you abandon the activity, it's going to spawn you right outside, and you can activate the hunt again and not have to do anything to your lure. It's that simple, and you can get a zillion essence of dawning per hour. I would not do strikes or do other. I mean, you're going to get Essence of Dawning anyway, but if you're short on it and you need to farm some, yeah, just do it this way, guys. You could do the solo too if you want also. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Leave me a good old hashtag made it to the end. If you did make it to the end, and do me a favor, drop a like in this video only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter at Mesa Sean. Check out my stream. Usually know it's on YouTube, and that's it. I am out of here like Vladimir.